Hey Ben, Paul, first of all, the first question, we saw Tom Naylor going off in the first half, a bit worried for him for the game and also for Wembley. What is the latest on Tom?
Well, Tom's been through a heavy schedule of late, and he'll have a late fitness test tomorrow before the game, and then we'll just see what he's like from there.
So you feel it's not a long-term problem for him at the moment?
Well, no, hopefully not. I mean, you never know with hamstrings. I mean, he come off limping off, but you know, it's like a damage limitation when you bring him off like that. You just got to get him off the pitch and look after the boy. You
have to hope that, don't you? Because we've already had Kevin Sandwith unavailable, and Tom has been probably the best player in the recent weeks. It would have been a massive blow, wouldn't it?
It would have been, yeah. I mean, it would have been a huge blow. But Tom's the type of person who, you know, I think he's a quick healer anyway. And like we say, we just wanted to make sure that he's okay and he's in the best of health, really.
The other casualty, I think, of the 3 games we had in quick succession was Luke Medley. What's the latest with him?
Well, you know, I think he's just an old man with a young body. He's just, you know, he suffered a little bit of, you know, cramp and his hamstrings pulled up. I think it was there for everybody to see. So he's 50-50 for tomorrow, and we'll just take it from there, really.
You must be pretty pleased. I mean, a lot of them played 270 minutes, and you've come out of it relatively unscathed.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's an amazing thing what the body can do. We look on paper, you're thinking, oh my God, you know, what these boys are going to do? They're going to manage to handle it or whatever. But a lot of them have got through it and got through it quite well. So they've come through with flying colours, to be fair.
And with 5 points after Hayes and Yedding, are you pleased with that return?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if football was 100 minutes long as opposed to 90, even on Saturday we were looking at 3 points because I think we were getting stronger, and we looked more like the team that was up there fighting for promotion. It
is now mathematically impossible for the playoffs. I think deep down people have felt that for a while, that it wasn't a possible thing. Now is the target and aim to finish as high as possible, finish top 8, top 7?
It would be. I mean, as long as the points are there for you, you want to do as much in the games as you can. I mean, when we go out there, like I said, we always go out there and we always try and play for 3 points. Now sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but we always go out there with the intention of scoring as many goals as we can, letting in as least goals as we can, and coming away with as many points as we can.
Grimsby Town then on Tuesday night. This is going to be an interesting one. They wanted to finish as high as possible as well.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of owe them one, don't we? Because of that 7-2 game was never a 7-2 game. I mean, it was just everything they hit just went in the net, and we just want to be able to address that. They're at our place now, and so if we can get 3 points off them, the better.
And you go into the game on the back of 2 clean sheets as well.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, Jesus is alive, and we're believers now. But yeah, I think we can take stock of that. I mean, you look at the players at the back. Priest came in, Fozzie's there as usual, and the boys at the back really have, you know, done as we've asked of them and addressed that, you know, that goal leakage. I mean, I call him Poomy because he reminds me of Mark Poom, but Gruffy is, in fact the lads call him Gruffalo because he plays like him. But I feel that it's one of those things where the boys have just gone back and they've said, yeah, you know, let's be stingy at home, let's be stingy with the goals against, because, you know, we know we can score goals.
Talk about Mark Priest, he's had to wait a long time, hasn't he, to take his chance, and a lot of people said he did on Saturday.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is football. You know, you could be sat on your bum for half the season. When you come in, you don't take your chance, you could be sat on for another half a season. So it's important that these players that do come in, we create a competitive nature in the club. That's what we have to do to get the best out of the players, and you know, we got the best out of Mark on Saturday.
How do you keep a player like that who signs in the summer and then goes month after month without getting his first team appearance? How do you keep them going, keeping them, you know, focused and ready for first team action?
Well, we sent him out on loan to Telford. We always include him in the 11v11s that we do all week. So, you know, we always tell him that he's part of the plans, and you know, at the end of the day he has to be, because he's a player that's signed to the club. To keep him happy, we create the competitive nature in the club, like I've said earlier. And those players who are in the team, if they play well, they'll stay in there. You know, if they don't do so well, then you know there are people that are waiting there who are hungry to get in, and so you've got that competitive nature.
I suppose his attitude has been spot on, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely first class. I mean, a lot of the boys' attitudes, that's what you find with the squad. that the players who are coming in will give their all 110%. That's not even a question really.
What we're looking like then team-wise tomorrow? Any players coming back into the fold?
There's a lad called Paul Hall who's waiting, and as you said earlier, he's been waiting and sitting on his bum for a long time. But yeah, I mean, all the players are starting to come back in now. Danny Spence is available. There's a lot of players who are desperate to come back in. So we're looking quite healthy at the moment.
And Paul Connor is fit again. Well, he's back from suspension. The signing part of the season that he's out for 3 games, and you're missing for a week.
Well, yeah. I mean, at the start of the week, we was looking at it thinking, "Oh my word, our top goal scorer, one of our top goal scorers, is out." Anytime you haven't got that in your team, you will miss goals. So he's available tomorrow and ready and raring to go.
So less than 3 weeks now to Wembley. 4 league games to go. What are the targets in those 4 games?
I just want to get a couple of minutes to myself. Oh, you mean for the team?
For the team.
Nah. Just to get as many games as we can. Finish as high up as we can, if it's possible. The point was a welcome point on Saturday. I secretly wanted to win that game because, just to create a little bit of a mental toughness over Luton. They've had a few stabs at us and not been able to beat us. So that would have been a mental, bonus for us. But the fact that they haven't beaten us was good. But to get as many points out of these last 4 games as possible.
And finally, mentions the fans. It's been a tough week for them as well, I suppose, financially. 2,000, over 2,000 on Thursday, over 2,000 on Saturday. It's good for this time of year, that sort of support.
Definitely. I mean, the fans have been, and they're singing, and they're, you see the fans they're a lot happier. They're singing songs, and they're making it difficult. A few weeks ago I said that let's make it difficult both on the pitch and because other teams do it to us when we go away, and our fans have started making it difficult for the opposition, and it does not have to make a difference.
Did you take part in the rendition of Que Sera before the game on Saturday?
In my mind, yes. But I can't doing it because the Luton manager was my mate, so I think he would have knocked me out. He's the size of him.
Thank you. Right. Oops.
With regard to Mazza, just to check out how's he coming along, because I think he was hoping to come back maybe and play a couple of games before the end of the season. Is that still looking on?
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe we could make him wait another couple of games, really. But because Gruffy's doing really well.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've got to wrap Mazza up with in cotton wool if you can. So he's making recovery, but to force him back too soon, with half of an injury would be crazy.
When do you think realistically he might be back then, Mazza?
One of the games,
You think he will be back?
Yeah,
before the
hopefully.
end,
Yeah, I mean, one of the games he'd be taking a chance. He'd be taking a chance, putting straight in.
Yeah.
So hopefully before
before
the season finishes.
Is it realistic to expect Neil Collett to get some games as well? Just because obviously, if you're not sure about Mazza and then Wembley coming in
of course,
well.
it's realistic. Like I said, any player that's signed up, including myself, right now, any player that's signed up would definitely be in with a shout of playing, because, like we say, it's been a hectic schedule. We've got to look after these boys. I take my hat off to them because they've played a lot of minutes. And every single last one of them, have put in 110% effort. Some of them have played, half injured, and it's you got to take your hat off to that.
Obviously, with keepers though, it's not so much a physical thing, but perhaps a mental thing. But I mean, in terms of looking at Wembley, Gruffy can't play, but the other 2 lads, are going to have to fight it out. I mean, is it? You're almost going to have to play them, I guess, before then, aren't you?
Well, hopefully. I mean, you never know. You never know, because those boys have played in the season. Ideally, you would like that. Ideally, you would love that to happen. But it's something that we are looking at as a management and trying to see if we can get those boys minutes. But I'm sure if they went straight in anyway, they're experienced enough to be able to. I mean, when Collie came in, he made his debut and was. Arguably man of the match in his game. So, we trust people at this football club.
Obviously there's quite a few lads, who probably are I've got a few tired legs. I know one or two fans have mentioned, you know, is it time to give Louis Briscoe a rest, because you know, obviously Cons has had an enforced one, and you know, with Louis being a key player, it might be a good time to.
Well, I mean, we could say that about, you know, a lot of players really. You know, there's a lot of players who need a rest. The one thing about Louis is he's got goals in his legs, and when you've got goals in your legs, it's very, very hard. You know, it's a hard temptation, you know, to resist. Yeah, probably you have to look at managing him, playing a little bit less time than other people. But you know, we've got like a schedule. It's a heavy schedule. Other people can come in, and that's something that we have to think about.